what does it look like when God's powerfully at work? And maybe when you hear that, the first thing that comes to your mind is the 10 plagues, when God delivered his people out of Egypt, or the parting of the Red Sea, those great miraculous things that God did when he was powerfully at work for his people. In Mark chapter 4, Jesus tells us out of parables. If you're not familiar with parables, it's an illustration. We always define it as an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. And these parables are all about the kingdom of God. Now, when Jesus talks about the kingdom of God, he doesn't mean heaven. He talks about the way that God's ruling in our hearts here on earth. It's what happens when God goes to work with the gospel, with the good news of Jesus. And in these parables, Jesus talks about what it looks like. In each one, he reminds us that the kingdom of God isn't a matter of impressive outward signs, but it's a matter of faith. That's how God rules. It's something that's so simple. It's going on even when we can't see it. You can go ahead and pause the video now, and then we'll read Mark chapter 4. When you're done with that, unpause for one closing thought. I think the ending of Mark chapter 4 is just the perfect way to end a chapter with parables about faith. See, maybe at first glance you think the disciples are faithful when they go to Jesus in the middle of a storm and say, "Jesus, wake up, we need you to save us." But Jesus turns around and rebukes them like they were doing something wrong. Why? The disciples were so worried because Jesus was asleep. He didn't look like he was there to work for them or answer their questions and their needs. Jesus rebuked them because they didn't need to be afraid. Jesus was in the boat with them. He might have looked like he was asleep to them, but he was still with them. You know, that's worth maybe spending some time thinking about or talking about as a family tonight. What are some things going on in your life that can make it seem like God's asleep? And make you worry that you're on your own. And what a wonderful reminder it is that no matter how it looks, Jesus is in your boat. God is still with you. Consider closing with the Lord's Prayer or Martin Luther's evening prayer. You'll see those two prayers on the next slides. God richly bless your time in his word and in prayer.